Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another quick video. Well, this is gonna be a quick video. Wanted to go over just a couple of mail calls real quick. Nothing real crazy or real fun. Just a couple of things. One I've been looking for kind of a while. I think the only reason I got lucky is because it's not in the best of shape. And the other one is just kind of a little higher premium grade die cast, something a little better than Hot Wheels or Matchbox. Kind of getting out of the Hot Wheels thing, and big fan of the type of car that it is, and it looks pretty cool. And somebody I knew said that they got one and they liked it, so I picked one up as well. I suppose without further ado, we will get on to probably the easiest thing, only because it's unwrapped, and that is going to be this fella. It is the Hot Wheels Bywayman. Real quick, right off the bat, you can tell, yes, the card is fairly yellowed. It's not in the best shape. It does have not one but two pricing stickers on it, and probably the one thing that I didn't know, the seller I don't think disclosed as well as they should have, is has a pretty gnarly bend and crease pretty much across the whole back of that card. It even also looks like it's got like staple holes, so it makes me wonder if somebody had it stapled to a wall or something, and it really only appears to be on this one side, not on this side, so kind of interesting just how many different staple holes there are on this thing. I mean, I'm not too terribly worried about the card, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind finding one, maybe not even on a mint card, but just on a really good card, and maybe one that doesn't have the yellow blistered as well, but still, this is a Bywayman on a card, original 80s Bywayman on a card, which I actually don't have, so this is my first one, so I'm not going to be too terribly picky. Yeah, see, 82. I wasn't even alive in 82. I love this casting. This is kind of my grail casting. This was my very first Hot Wheel that I can remember. I've got one loose. I don't remember opening it, but I've got one loose. It's got the white hubs. I don't remember the situation with the toolbox on it. Anyway, real quick, it was my first Hot Wheel. I had it for the longest time. I still have it. I've got, I think, one loose one with the gray hubs that I picked up a few years back or several years back. And over the years, they've made different iterations. There's like a yellow Beach Patrol one, there's a green one, there's a red one, there's all kinds of different versions. I'm a big fan of the ones with the real riders on them, just because they're these old, like, meaty, chunky tires that Hot Wheels, I mean, they do on, like, the, some of the 4x4s and the off-roaders, but just, like, this style of wheel, I'm sure somebody with a little more knowledge knows what this type of tire is called. But I don't think they do this exact ton of tire anymore, but it was just always my favorite casting. It was kind of my first one, so it's always kind of had a special place in my heart. Like I said, I've always wanted to find one carded, several years back when that thought hit me to get one carded. They were actually probably more than I paid for this, and they've since doubled, maybe even tripled. So that's really unfortunate, but I imagine one day I may kind of pick one up. I may end up selling off a good portion of my collection, and maybe I'll buy one of the nicer ones. But yeah, over the years, I did find out that there are, it's kind of hard to see, unfortunately, inside the bed, there is a, what's modeled as supposed to be like a spare tire. And then there is a toolbox, or there can be a toolbox or toolboxes in different positions. And I didn't know that there are different positions for different castings, so they kind of vary. I'm not a elitist or necessarily a completionist, so I don't need to have every version, but it was kind of cool to find out that there were different versions of this casting. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know, I probably paid a little too much considering how beat up the card is, but dare I'd almost say this is probably the cheapest carded Bywayman in the United States right now. So yeah, and then later on, I forget what they called it, but it changed. It was no longer the Bywayman. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like the Plow. I think it was just called the Plow King or the Plow Truck or something like that. And some of them did have a plow on the front. But I think they had like, they might have been metal base, but they were plastic tire and plastic wheel and everything. This is metal base, metal body. So yeah, like I said, pretty hyped. It's not the best of shape, but it's a start, and it's my first one, so of course it's going to be a little beat up. Moving on to the next item, a little wrapped up. I will undo the wrapping. The brand is Pop Race, and there we go. It is R33 GTR 33 Skyline. Like I said, big fan of R33s. R32s are nice. R34s are overhyped, in my opinion. Don't at me. Yeah, they're a cool car and everything, and ooh and ah, but the 33 is my favorite. I believe I have one Pop Race car, maybe two. Most everything that I've got in the premium world is either Inno or Kaido. There might even be some Mini GT in my collection. I can't remember. I don't have a lot, but I have more than a couple, so I have enough that I've already lost track of what's what, or which ones I have and what brand they are anyway. The pictures I've seen, a friend of mine said he picked one up and said he liked it, so I'm kind of excited. And yeah, wow, look at that. That is nice. That color is wow. Look at that. It's like Bass Boat Midnight Purple. That is great. Look at that color. Good Lord. The camera's definitely picking up the sparkle, the flake. I don't think it's quite picking up the like purple to blue to green transition quite as well as it does in person. I don't think, yeah, the hood does open. Okay, well, that's got an opening hood. I think it's supposed to be carbon fiber, but it doesn't have much of a weave. If it does, it's a really, really tiny weave. Looks better on camera, so maybe it is kind of a more realistic to size or to scale carbon weave. I guess that's kind of nice. Usually when they do carbon hoods on these 164s, I think it's not to scale. It's a much larger weave, and I think that's probably just so that we can see it with the naked eye. But actually looking at that on camera, that actually looks pretty good. Engine detail looks pretty alright. Got your little strut bar in there. You can see what maybe a battery, radiator, valve cover. Without really getting in there, it's really kind of hard to tell if there's anything written on the valve cover or not. Headlights are lensed, plastic. Full focus, 30303. The Japanese plate. Taillights, they look like they might be lensed as well. They are lensed. Very nice. Underside, some detail. Just the muffler is painted. Side mirrors are rubber. And spoiler is also possibly true to size carbon. Looks that way. Just barely see the weave on there. No tow hooks. Rubber tires. They roll, they feel great. They don't feel sticky at all. Roll's nice. I think tires they're probably a little thin. Even they're not. I don't think they're true to size. I think they'd be a little wider if they were true to size. So it does feel a little. It is smooth. It's got a little bit of like that rough grainy feel to it, kind of. It doesn't have suspension. I think it looks good. Another one of my buddies was worried when I showed it to him. He was worried that the wheels looked a little too big or like a little too like balloony. I don't know. I think they fit. I don't know if it's hard to if you can kind of catch it on camera, but I think they look okay. It's not slammed or it's not gonna be dragging an oil pan or frame or anything, but I think for a good just street driven sporty car, I think the wheel size is good. I think they did a real good job, even on the wheel gap. Again, true to form. It's a little bit much, but it's a street car. So overall, I think they did a really good job. Interior details, it is right-hand drive. Doesn't look like much. I can see seats. I can see what might be like a center console, maybe. Back seat again. I can see the back speaker grills, seat. That's really about it. It doesn't look like there's a lot of texture or color on the seats or the dash or anything like that. You can't really see any gauges. Taillights themselves are lensed. The amber turn signals and reverse are painted on. I think because I see the Nismo on the spoiler and I see the GTR sticker, but I don't know. I'm assuming that's supposed to be a Nissan emblem. Maybe a lock cylinder, I don't know. Intercooler. Large license plate pigs. But yeah, definitely pretty cool casting. I'm excited. Top Race, I think, it's not inequality. It's not quite Kaido quality either. I'd say it is kind of right up there with Mini GT. It might be a little above, a little below Mini GT. Definitely above Hot Wheels. Even if the hood didn't open, there's no way. I mean, this would still be a pretty good custom off just a basic like Hot Wheels mainline kind of car. But yeah, all in all, I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. I am definitely satisfied with my purchase, for sure. So yeah, like I said, Pop Race GTR 33. Pretty good looking car. Pretty good looking car. So there we have it. Like I said, kind of a holy grail piece. We'll call it a starter piece. I've got some loose, but as far as getting one carded, that'll have to do. And then the Pop Race R33, fantastic paint, great job, I think, in my opinion, on the carbon weave on the hood and spoiler. As far as making it true to size, very realistic in that sense. Wheels look great, rolls smoothly, albeit a little grainy, but still overall pretty good for $20 premium die cast. That's it, folks. That's all I've got. Maybe kind of a post-video, post-credit update. I am not sure where things are going. I've bought one Hot Wheel in the last month for sure, maybe the last couple of months. I'm not getting out and hunting as often as I normally would or would want to. I do still get out, I do still look. I find myself either not wanting to buy as much or definitely not buying as much, if any. I am contemplating, if anything, for sure, counting my collection. I've got, I don't know, 50 plus or minus on a wall. They're mostly blue cards and castings that I really like. And again, I've probably got 20 or 24, 25, a couple of dozen on another wall that are supers, mail-in cars, things like that are either worth a considerable amount of money, either retail or to me. Everything else is just kind of taking up space on shelves and tables and put away in trunks and boxes and things like that. So I definitely am going to go through it to count it and see at least how many I've got in my collection so far. I will probably, as I go along, pull out things that are either more sentimental or just castings that I really like or want to keep. But I'm really going to try my best to have sort of a get rid of mindset. I'm not to say to get out of the hobby, but it takes up an entire room in my house. While it is taking up a whole room in my house, while I don't necessarily need the room, A, you never know when things could change, and B, it's kind of stressful and overwhelming, and it really is kind of a weight that lives on my shoulders, that every time I go in that room, it's not a mess, but it's a lot to think about, and I don't know, I can't explain it. I'm an overthinker, and so it kind of weighs heavy on me all the time, and I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of tired of it, and I just really want to. I'm not gonna get rid of my entire collection, but I definitely do want to get rid of, for sure, 50% to start, and then probably overall about 90%, if not more. Like I said, I've probably got about 100 on my walls and shelves right now that I know I do not want to get rid of. Maybe a little more. But the rest of it, which I think, if I had to guess, is probably somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 cars that I don't want and I don't need. And so I'm definitely going to be, like I said, I'll start by counting them just to kind of see what I've got and to kind of go through and see if I can actually push myself into getting rid of 90% of it. And then my hope, I really don't want to sell them individually. Maybe garage sales, maybe, I don't know, conventions, toy shows. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can get somebody who will buy the whole thing. I don't know, but at this point, I'd kind of rather have, even if it's a few $100s or several $100s, you know, to get rid of it. That's fine by me. But that's really about it. I'll quit rambling on right by now. As always, please leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, maybe what you want to see. I know a lot of people liked my my trunk videos, opening my trunks. I think I have one more trunk. I may try to maybe this summer, or with this whole count thing, maybe get to that and do kind of another trunk opening. I'm pretty certain you guys don't want to see me count and go through every single Hot Wheel. If you do, let me know, and maybe I will. If I had more viewers or more commenters, and I got, a dozen or 2 or 3 or 4 dozen people who said they wanted to see it, maybe I would, but I have a feeling only a couple of people are going to comment, so that's probably going to be on me to decide. And like I said, I don't think anybody wants to spend 20 plus minutes watching me just count and go through Hot Wheels, so I'll get around to that, and maybe I'll make a video and maybe I won't. But like I said, leave a like, leave a comment. If you don't follow me, hit that follow button if you like what you see. Otherwise, thanks for watching as always, and it is, for now, still a good day to diecast. I am Mikey, and I will see you guys later.